All right, you saw Gabe introduce himself. Now we're here to make some predictions. First round of the NBA playoffs starts tomorrow. We are so excited. We're going to begin in the Eastern Conference, and we're going to go quickly through these picks. But basically, you're going to tell me which team you're picking and in how many games. So, Gabe, you go first. You're the guest. Magic Bucks. Who wins and how many games?
All right. So this might go as a shocker, but I got the Bucks winning. I know. But I got them winning 4-0 actually. I don't think the Magic will take a game. I know that home court doesn't really play in here even though there are Zoom fans, but the only way I saw the Magic taking games was if Jonathan Isaac was healthy. And obviously he went down not too long ago for the season and a big portion of next season. Um, Giannis against the Magic does have some pretty bad numbers considering how great he is. He has roughly 20 points a game against them and not on great efficiency, I believe. But yeah, so I think the only way that they would have had a game is with Jonathan Isaac, giving him a little bit of clamps, but no Isaac, no wins.
Jeffrey?
Yeah, so obviously the Bucks are 4. There's no chance that I don't see the Magic winning a single game because no Jonathan Isaac, like he said, and the Bucks are just one of the most well-rounded teams in the NBA. And if Giannis can play like he has this whole season, there's no chance that any other team's going to beat them.
And Kevin?
I got the Bucks in 5. I was very tempted to pick the Bucks in 4, but I'm gonna stick with what I said a few segments ago, that I just think the uncertainty surrounding the bubble is too much for there to be a sweep in any of the playoff series. And the question is, can the Magic shoot? Not really, but if they can get hot, that's something that Bucks are vulnerable in the three-point defense. And if Aaron Gordon, Iwundu, or Gary Clark can actually shoot, maybe the Magic can steal one. Giannis is playing frustrated. Maybe they won't be as disciplined.
I'm with you there. I got Bucks in 5. I think it's a good pick. Everything you said is fine. Bucks in 5. All right, Pacers Heat. This is a good series. We got some two competitive teams. We got Bubble Warren and Butler going at it again in a series. Gabe, start us off.
Yeah, so the Pacers are the higher seed, but I think they're actually the underdogs here. But despite them being the underdogs since they've lost to the Heat the past 2 times, I still have the Pacers winning in 7. I agree it's going to be a really close series. But I just think the Heat, despite Jimmy Butler's excellent play, despite Bam Adebayo shining, they're really relying on a lot of young guys that they didn't have last year. And I just don't see their experience playing out. The Pacers are a fairly new team as well, but they just have a lot of consistent role players that know what it's like to win and know how to share the ball and keep it moving. So for that reason, I got the Pacers in 7.
Jeffrey, I know you don't like the Heat.
Yeah, I completely agree with them. I had the Pacers winning in 7, and this is why. First of all, Heat have no playoff experience. Well, most of the team, and not only that, the Heat have been kind of inconsistent. If their shooters shoot, then they most likely win the game. But if they don't, we have seen them lose badly. And because of that, I think the Pacers, who have been a consistent team throughout the season, can beat the Heat in a 7-game series.
Kevin?
Well, I'm going to disagree with both Gabe and Jeffrey here, but I'm going to agree with the number of games, 7. I think this is going to be the most competitive series in the Eastern Conference round 1. The question is, can the Heat stop TJ Warren? And the answer is yes. We have seen in past games. I mean, the last time they played, the Pacers were stifled in a 92-114 loss where Jimmy Butler really put on the clamps. And, Pacers are known for their good spacing, with Miles Turner really having that pick and roll with TJ Warren, creating space to shoot. But honestly, the Heat have the defense for that, and they have the shooting. Maybe Jay Crowder needs to step it up a little bit more. But, I think this is going to be really competitive. But the Heat have always had the Pacers' number. I picked the Heat in 7.
I got Heat in 6. I think Jimmy Butler locks down TJ Warren, like you said. And then I think the shots will fall in. Duncan Robinson is a consistent shooter. Jay Crowder has been hitting shots. And so is Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero is a young gun. He's energetic. And the key here is coaching. Eric Spoelstra versus Nate McMillan. I think Eric Spoelstra gives the Heat a premium. I think the Heat win in 6. All right, next we got Celtics Sixers. The Sixers are heavily underdogs. They've lost Ben Simmons, and Joel Embiid has been slightly injured, I think. But now we have to see how the Sixers can fare with a beaten-up lineup against the Celtics. Many people have been high on the Celtics as far as Eastern Conference finals or even finals to come out of the East. Some people are saying the Celtics might come out of the East. So, Gabe, Celtics Sixers, who you got?
So, my Knicks fan doesn't want to give the Celtics credit, even though it's due, but I still have to go 4-1 Celtics over the Sixers. No Ben Simmons. That's one less versatile perimeter defender that could possibly be matched up against Tatum or Jaylen Brown. The Celtics just have too many offensive-minded guys, too many well-rounded guys that can also play defense. There's no way anyone besides Joel Embiid does anything productive besides maybe the likes of Tobias Harris. For those reasons, I got to go with Celtics in 5. There's not much chance for the Sixers.
Jeffrey?
Yeah, I agree. I think the Celtics is 6 because if you look at the roster, they're one of the best rosters of the league. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, they've been playing amazing so far. And not only that, the 76ers don't have Ben Simmons. And Ben Simmons is one of the best defenders. So I don't see the Heat winning, but I see him taking 2 games because of Joel Embiid and how he's been playing.
Yeah, Joel Embiid is the story. Kevin?
I completely agree with Jeffrey here. I think the Celtics in 6. When Embiid is off the floor, the 76ers struggle. They don't really have anyone else there in place. And I would argue that Ben Simmons being gone actually helps the 76ers in their offensive efficiency. But defensively, that's a huge hit. No one's going to be able to guard Jason Tatum. What about Kemba Walker? Don't forget about him. I think Celtics are too much for the 76ers. Celtics in 6.
I will say that the Sixers – as far as Embiid, that Simmons being out gives them some identity on offense because you got to run it through Embiid. And then another thing I'll say is you're going to have Tice guarding Embiid. That's not a great matchup. I like that for the Sixers. But I'm going to go back and say the Celtics in 5 because of the shooting that the Celtics have. The backcourt is unstoppable. With that said, last one of the Eastern Conference, we got the Raptors and the Nets. The Nets looked good against the Blazers on Thursday. I will say that. But Gabe, who you got in this 2-7 matchup?
Yeah, as good as the Nets looked against the Blazers, and as good as they've been playing with Damian Lillard, but they're no match against the Raptors. The Raptors are a lot better. The Nets can keep it close against good teams, but against the great teams, they're not going to take a game. I got the Raptors in 4 on this one. The Nets just don't have an identity without their star players on the floor. They don't really have much to work with. They have Karis LeVert, who can shoot the ball well, but besides for him, it's kind of a trash team. I'm going to go with the Raptors in 4. They already have a consistent lineup. They're the former champions. They're just playing excellent basketball against great teams. And the Nets, they're not going to get a game. Raptors in 4.
Solid argument there. Geoff, we got anything?
Yep, I agree. The Raptors have been one of the best teams so far. They have been a great defensive team. They have been here before. They have great playoff experience. And not only that, they have veterans. They have veterans like Ibaka who know what to do during these times. And because of that, I have the Raptors at 5. But I think the Nets can steal a game because of Karis LeVert and how he's been playing.
That's very valid. Kevin?
I again agree with Geoffrey here. I got the Raptors in 5. Karis LeVert, 25 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds averaging right now in the bubble. That is actually crazy numbers. But everyone knows that the Brooklyn offense goes through him, and that means Nick Nurse also knows that. So the Raptors are going to have a defensive plan. They're going to blitz him. They're going to smother him on defense. Nets don't have other options, but Nets are playing hard. Let's not forget, they were 1 point away from 2 points away from beating a Blazers team that was in a must-win game. So Nets are competitive, so I'll give them 1 game.
I like Raptors in 5 as well. Nets play one effort game. I think they've been the highest effort team in the bubble because they have the least talent, but they've won some tough games. So that's why I like Nets winning one of the games, but Raptors are here to stay in the Eastern Conference.